Why am I not allowed to then? Because you swear too much, Dr. Johns. Also, we haven't donated today. That's why.
I sent him to California to turn on the water. We turned it on. It was not easy because we had to go through a lot of environmentalists that are causing a lot of problems.
Oh
And we
my God! He's bragging about it. He's bragging about the water, saying, "I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that he's actually bragging about the water, saying in the Oval Office." The thing that we have covered, the thing that we have endlessly mocked, the things that has, oh my God, this is incredible. The best topic of tonight has returned like a boomerang. It's been resurrected. It's back. It's back. We're back to the water. It's not been easy. It's been, we had to go through a lot of environmentalists to make it happen. Millions of gallons of water will not waste itself, you know. Water's not gonna squander itself. We had to do a lot of work to make this miracle happen. It was a beautiful, beautiful flow. Oh my goodness.
we have billions of gallons of water. It was on 3 days ago. You probably saw. Should have gotten a lot of press, but it didn't get much.
It really should have gotten a lot of. You know what? I agree. It really actually should have gotten a lot of press. We are in full agreement here. But not for the reasons that you think, okay? Not for the reasons that you think. Oh my fucking God. He's actually bragging about wasting billions of gallons of water. Insanity. This is insane.
All we're doing is giving Los Angeles and the entire state of California virtually unlimited water, which they could have done 5 years ago.
What the fuck? What? Are we even talking about the same thing? Just letting the water from dams flow freely to just sink into the ground? We're giving Los Angeles unlimited water. What does that even mean, unlimited water? The reservoir is limited, and you've just lowered the amount of water in it. People in the summer will have less water to water their crops. The water is not unlimited. Limited water. Unlimited power. Ooh. Wow. God damn. We've just given Los Angeles unlimited water.
Which I told them they should do, but the environmentalists stopped them. And we opened it, and we did it regardless of the state.
Yes, you did. You did it regardless of all of the state, of all the experts that you were in contact with, apparently. It's
And now the state seems to be very happy. I spoke with Gavin Newsom.
very happy about the gallons, millions, billions of gallons of water wasted. The farmer is going to be especially happy in the summer. I cannot wait.
Go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. No filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got no.
First, we're going to talk about the thing that he actually went through with, okay? So he did not secure anything. Okay, let's talk about California. Okay, let's talk about the fires. You know how there's been this pretty big wildfire that has been ravaging California for a while now? You know? Are you familiar with this little climactic phenomenon that has struck the United States of America and deprived many people out of their homes and livelihoods and whatnot? That thing? Well, as of recently, thank goodness, the authorities have announced that the fires have been 100% contained. That's good news, right? Fires contained, we're all happy, the day has been saved, right? There's nothing else to talk about at this point. It's all done. It's a done deal. Well, no, it's not a done deal, because our new president, Donald Trump, has decided, in his wisdom, that two huge dams that have, what was it, millions of gallons of water inside of them, to just open them up and flood the area. He decided in his wisdom to recreate, I guess, the Novakarkovka Dam incident, but in a controlled environment. He just said, open up the dams, let the water flow, and we'll deal with the situation like that. And not only did it almost very nearly flood the neighboring cities, which have suffered from the fire, so that would be stacking one crisis on top of another, flooding on top of a fire. But, and this is the interesting part for me, the most interesting part, apart from, the fact that the fire has already been 100% contained. He just opened the dam and let the water flow. What do you mean he gave people? Yeah, he gave people the water by flooding them with it. What do you mean he gave people the water? What do you mean? He sure gave people the water. Actually, that's the interesting part. Jack don't do it. He actually deprived people of the water. Because, what do you think? Okay, I'm gonna ask a question, a very important question. Okay? I'm gonna give you a very important question. What do you think that water in the dam is used for? That water that is now gone. The water is already not in the dam. It's been released into the wild. The water is not there anymore in those two dams. 10-point question. What is that water usually used for? Anybody? Anybody in the chat? Any takers for this brilliant question? What is this water for? Anyone? Yeah? Trust me, I've gathered some facts on the matter. Agriculture. Bingo! It's used for farmers to water their crops in the summer. The summer heat where water is needed to water the crops, to grow the food that America produces. That water is not accessible anymore. That water is not there anymore, which means the American farmers are in a bit of a pickle. There is a little bit of a possibility that they might be having some problems with growing their crops. Well, what do you know? America produces its own food. And if we would, because apparently those are canceled for now, but if we would combine these with tariffs on incoming food from outside the country, and we're suddenly starting to see a little bit of a problem. Oh, what can I say? What can I say? That's the brightest policy available to a person. To take water that is there, dedicated to giving to farmers to use during summer heat, and flooding the area to combat a 100% contained fire. Brilliant. Yeah, there's plenty of water, and who needs those dams? Yeah, we all know that America is well known for being plentiful in water. That is why the US never had to build dams, never had to build special waterways to forward water, because those places are just not inherently rich in water. That's totally not a thing for the United States of America. That's totally not a thing. Well, I have to say that my farmer hating bone has been tickled a bit. Oh my god. So I feel like I've been vindicated. I've been very amused when somebody in the chat wrote, yeah, but America produces its own food. I was like, oh, well, I've got news for you. Hold on. Maybe there's an article about this somewhere that I can just quickly look up. Drinking water security has never been a problem in California, of course. Is Trump trying to waterboard? Jesus Christ. Trump releases dam water. Oh, wow. Los Angeles Times. Let me see if I can even, if it's, yeah. We got plenty of rivers, creeks, and lakes. Yeah, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Not all of these reach all the areas of the United States. That's why you have to bid waterways That's why you had to build dams and reservoirs. That is exactly why. Because all the rivers and creeks do not just reach every part of the US enough to make it sustainable. You should learn the history of your own country, actually, especially Los Angeles. Because your knowledge seems to be sadly lacking. All right, we're gonna watch. Or Los Angeles. Oh, I mentioned Los Angeles, and the article also mentions Los Angeles. So I guess great minds think alike, because Los Angeles is not naturally plentiful in water. Believe it or not. Los Angeles is not an El Dorado for water. What a shock. Los Angeles delivery of water is actually a very interesting history, which all of you should learn um, if you're actually real patriotic Americans. Why do you think the term water wars is a thing? Okay? If you got plenty of rivers, creeks, and lakes, Jack don't do it, then why do you think people in the US fought wars over access to water? We're gonna look it up first for you, okay? LA water wars. California water wars. Oh wow. I bet some of you did not know that was a thing. The California water wars were a series of political conflicts between the city of Los Angeles and farmers and ranchers of the Owens Valley and Eastern California over water rights. Because if water went from Owens Valley to Los Angeles, then it was not available anymore in Owens Valley. So they could not water their crops anymore in Owens Valley. As Los Angeles expanded during the late 19th century, it began outgrowing its water supply. Fred Eaton, mayor of Los Angeles, promoted a plan to take water from Owens Valley to Los Angeles via an aqueduct. You know, those things that the US absolutely had to build to actually have sustainable levels of water, even if you have a lot of rivers and creeks in the United States. The aqueduct construction was overseen by William Mulholland and was finished in 1913. This is actually a very interesting piece of history. I've listened to a very interesting radio show on it. The water rights were acquired through political fighting and, as described by one author, chicanery, subterfuge, and a strategy of lies. That was a whole very complicated thing, but yes. The water needs of Los Angeles kept growing. In 1941, Los Angeles diverted water that previously fed Mono Lake, north of Owens Valley, into the aqueduct. Mono Lake's ecosystem for migrating birds was threatened by dropping water levels. Between 1979 and 1994, David Gaines and the Mono Lake Committee engaged in litigation with Los Angeles. The litigation forced Los Angeles to stop diverting water from around Mono Lake, which has started to rise back to a level that can support its ecosystem. Yeah, we've got plenty of water, man. We only fought whole wars over it. Sure. Fam. Oh my goodness. Water need. Water monopolies also exist. Colonies who used water from peripheries for support of core empires, right? So don't give me that, well, it doesn't matter that Trump just emptied 2 dams. We've got plenty of water. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much water we waste. We're just water plentiful. Well, you know, that's neither here nor there. God, the water thing. Maybe I should become a water specialist streamer, because apparently a lot of Americans do not even know that water wars was a thing. Yes, resource wars happen in general as well. It's absurd to deny it. Oh yeah. But there is a difference a little bit in these resource wars, because these particular resource wars happened over the fact that, well, water is a pretty immediate need, and the effects of, like, fighting wars over gold is not as immediately felt as, oh, we had water to drink and we had water to water our crops, and then suddenly we don't and our crops die. Like, feeling like the feeling of, we had a gold mine here, and instead of us getting the gold, they're getting the gold, is not as felt in the immediate sense as we had water to drink and now we don't anymore. Days after President Trump startled some of his most ardent supporters in California's San Joaquin Valley by having the Army Corps of Engineers suddenly release water from 2 dams, many in the region and beyond were still perplexed. Acting on an order from Washington, the Corps allowed irrigation water to flow down river channels for 3 days into the network of engineered waterways that fan out among farm fields in the San Joaquin Valley, coursing from rivers to canals to irrigation ditches. Much of the water eventually made its way to retention basins where it soaked into the ground, replenishing groundwater. It's been recharged to the ground, said Tom Barcelos, president of the Lower Tule River Irrigation District, and a dairyman and farmer. That sounds good, except farmers in the parts of the San Joaquin Valley typically depend on water from the 2 dams to irrigate crops in the summer. In the summer, just like I said. In other words, the release of water this time of year, when agriculture usually doesn't require it, means that growers are likely to have less water stored in the reservoirs this summer, during a year that so far is among the area's driest on record. Driest on record. How interesting. Indeed, but back in the day, they also had no proper war protocols or anything, and also, like, slavery was a thing. Starvation was also used as a... Well, yeah, that's true. All of that is true. All of that is correct. But we're talking about Trump's little damn thing, okay? And it's glorious. It's glorious that anybody could be like, oh yeah, totally, if we just produce our own food. Driest on record. Yeah, that's why. That's where we left off. Driest on record. Brilliant. It would have been better utilized if we could keep it there and use it this summer for irrigation. Well, who cares? It was supposedly used to battle the fire, the 100% contained fire. It's just Trump hating news. Who cares, right? They just hate Trump. Barcelos said the loss of that water, equivalent to about 2 days of maximum water use during the summer irrigation season, amounted to not a lot of harm, not a big foul, he said. Still, he said, I believe someone in DC got a little overzealous. The sudden unplanned release of water from the dams had led to criticism from some residents, water managers, and members of Congress, who say the unusual discharge of water seems to have been intended to make a political statement, to demonstrate that Trump has the authority to order federal dams or pumps to send more water flowing as he directs, with his, specialized knowledge about how these things work and how they should be used, of course. Amazing, isn't it? These kinds of shenanigans, they hurt smaller farmers, said Desiree Bagalayos, a local water activist. Small growers have already been struggling, and the release of water from the dams means they will have less when they need it, Bagalayos said. Who knows what else Trump decides to do randomly one day with water. The last thing in the world California water management needs is somebody like Trump calling shots when he doesn't know how anything works. Well, there you go. It seems like the article just mirrored my sentiment. Bagalayos said, it's making an already hard situation very, very difficult. We don't have a lot of wiggle room in the state of California to be messing around with our water supply like this. The Army Corps of Engineers abruptly began releasing large flows on Friday, sending water streaming from Terminus Dam into the Kavik River near Visalia, and from Schaffer Dam into the Tule River near Portville. The high flows continued for a day, then lessened somewhat and ended Sunday. The action occurred after Trump's visit to fire-devastated Los Angeles, when he pledged to open the valves to bring the region more water, even though reservoirs that supply Southern California cities were at record levels and remain so. As the water poured from the dams, Trump posted a photo of one of them saying, "It was beautiful water flow that I just opened in California." Oh, you cannot make this up. This is beyond parody. This is, I don't even know. This is just great. You cannot, like, we've circled it. It went full circle, and we went from depression to laughter and amusement at all the lives that will be lost, and all the lives that will be ruined, and all the people that will go hungry. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful water flow. The Army Corps of Engineers said that the action was consistent with the direction in Trump's recent executive order, which calls for maximizing water deliveries. Oh, I'm sorry. My laptop is out of juice. I have to juice it up. I have to juice up the laptop. There we go. We've done it. We have done the juice. Okay, we're back. We're back to the news. Where were we with this? Yeah. Water deliveries. Executive order maximizing water deliveries, especially when they're not needed. But who cares about that? In the summer, just have to get good and make do with the water that you'll have, okay? Look, okay, listen. This article does not seem to be in the know, but there's actually something that can reverse this whole situation. There are two scenarios in which you could have a big reversal. One of them is record high rain in the area. If you have record high rainfalls in the area, then that'll save the situation because it will just replenish the water that has been used up when the dams were opened. Or we could have record high ice cap melting, and that water could be taken and put into the dam and used for the farmers. So if we have those things that are actually quite unlikely to happen within the span of the next 4 months, then all the damage that has been done here will be undone. So don't worry, there's always hope. Something might change still, and we might be back to square one. Brilliant. So I just so you know that I'm not just some negative person that just says, "Oh, Trump did this and it's bad." No, don't worry. There's a possibility that nature will correct this mistake. Is it right? Isn't that great news? Aren't you happy that I've told you this? Neither Trump nor the Army Corps of Engineers provided details about where the water was intended to go. Into the wild, of course. It was intended to go into the wild, okay? But water released from the two, well, actually, an entropy fan, your hypothetical would not reverse it. It would not fill out the dams, okay? I'm sorry to say, what you just described would not fill up the dams again from the water that was released. So it would not reverse this. I'm sorry, the water is already gone. Opium from Lucy feels good, thank you. So neither Trump nor the Army Corps of Engineers provided details where to go, but water released from the two dams serves agriculture in the eastern San Joaquin Valley. It typically does not reach the Los Angeles area, which depends instead on supplies delivered from the aqueducts of the state water project on the other side of the valley. The water releases lowered the levels of the two reservoirs. Lake Success near Portville had been about 20% full. It fell to 18%. Lake Cavich near Visalia was roughly 21% full and similarly dropped to 19% of capacity over the weekend. Federal records show that more than 2 billion gallons were released from the reservoirs over 3 days. Who cares? There's plenty of water to go around, right? Well, okay, an entropy fan. I hate to say this, but it's not gonna be 2 billion gallons, okay? No matter how much you slice it, it's not gonna be 2 billion gallons, okay? This is the greatest segment ever. No. Oh my goodness. Peter Glake, a water scientist and senior fellow at the Pacific Institute, said that for a political photo op and a social media post, the Trump administration has thrown away billions of gallons of California water. This is brilliant. He said the water will not reach any city, not be used or usable for firefighting, not be used by farmers since this isn't the irrigation season, and won't be saved for the dry season, which is coming. It was a needlessly self-destructive action purely for political showmanship, Gleich said. I mean, so far, is it not the history of the Trump presidency? Is this not the greatest description of the Trump presidency thus far? A self-destructive action purely for political showmanship? I think it is. I think it's a brilliant description of this term. After Trump issued his executive order to do something about California's water, it appears that Army Corps officials scrambled to respond. Gleich said California's water system is very delicately balanced among all of the competing interests, and this episode shows that even slight interference in that system can cause chaos. What do you mean chaos? What do you mean delicate systems? What do you mean different interests? That's all a lot of BS. There's plenty of water. Nobody's gonna miss any water because there's plenty. As we all know, there are a lot of rivers and creeks. What is this person talking about? This fake news pamphlet. Politics right now unironically make me not wanna. Well, you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. What can I say? Except you're welcome. You're welcome for me to deliver these wonderful news to you. There's plenty of water. We have plenty of rivers and creeks. Good one. Good one. Good one. Local water managers said they were caught off guard Thursday. Dan Vink, a water consultant who previously served as a general manager of the Lower Tule River Irrigation District, called the situation extremely unprecedented. Wasting billions of gallons of water for no reason? That's unprecedented. Who would have guessed it? Well, then again, Donald Trump is an unprecedented president, so unprecedented action is to be expected. Came here from Dylan's stream, and it's more depressing somehow. But at least this is also a very funny. Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's just listen. It's a depression hour. That streamer is talking about their house burning down. This streamer is talking about billions of gallons of water being wasted for no goddamn reason. Who knows what other streamers are up to? Maybe they're talking about, I don't know. It's crazy. It's wild. Okay? I am glad he did not lose any footage. Where were we? God. Scrambled, California's water system, all delicate balance. Yes. Yes, we were here. Chaos. All right. Apparently, according to Trump, that California water is sacred, like Ziegler described it to Lady Jessica. That water is sacred. None of us, if even dying, are going to drink it. Oh. Well, let's just waste billions of gallons of it then. If it's so sacred. After local water managers said they were caught off guard Thursday. This is Dan Vink, a water consultant who previously served as general manager of the Lower Tule River Irrigation District, called the situation, oh yeah, I've already read this, extremely unprecedented. Yeah, I get it. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to cut this out. I got a little bit overeager and I read this part again. A release of that magnitude, Vink said, would normally be coordinated days in advance. You only live once, YOLO. Why coordinate when you can just do it? That's the problem. That's why America has not been great again thus far. Because you coordinated and planned. And the thing is, you just get in and do it. That's what Trump is teaching us, which is just get our act together and do what needs to be done immediately. The local water managers on Thursday communicated their concerns Concern to the Army Corps officials who agreed to release less water than originally. They were planning to release more? Hold on. The local water managers on Thursday communicated their concerns to the Army Corps officials who agreed to release less water than originally planned and to delay the releases until Friday. Being said, some water releases went ahead anyway. Oh, so we would have wasted a lot more billions of gallons of water if it all went according 100% according to the president's plan. Lovely. It is lovely to hear. This is lovely. Oh, you think we've wasted billions of gallons of water? Well, we didn't even release the amount that we wanted to begin with. So there you go. You should thank us. You should be thankful that we actually didn't go full steam ahead with what we had planned. Oh boy. The Army Corps of Engineers did not respond to our request for comment. I wonder why. That's such a grand mystery. Why wouldn't they want to comment? Why wouldn't they want to brag about their big achievement? We did it. We listened to Donald Trump's plan. We executed the plan. We executed it right away, and we can see the results. They should be proudly commenting on it. They should be glad to give a comment instead of running away like they were, I don't know, ashamed of something. So they did not respond to our request for comment Monday about why the water releases were carried out and where the water went. I don't know. We were just supposed to release it. I don't know where it went. Who cares where it went? The point was to release it, not to ask someone else, not us. We don't know. Barcelona's Lower Toul Irrigation District, together with the Toul River Assen, Cavia, and St. John's Rivers Assen, and the Toular Irrigation District, issued a joint statement. Oh, we could read the statement. Monday, saying supplies in both reservoirs were being stored for the irrigation purposes of various users to be distributed based on established water rights. Water rights? The hell are those? What the hell is that? Water rights. According to the statement, the water has been managed in cooperation with the Corps to achieve the combined benefits of both flood control and water supply for the region. The water district said California's water operations are incredibly complex. What do you mean incredibly complex? You just go in there, open the tap, water flows, bada bing, bada boom. We've been proven that it's far less complex than you make it out to be. You bureaucrats, you fake news outlets. You're complicated. Just get in there, open up the water, ready, done deal. Just like what happened right now. Don't be so weird about it. And that the movement of water supplies requires an extensive understanding of the plumbing safety concerns, laws, and coordination among the various owners and operators of water and canals. What a joy kill that reporter is. Doesn't understand the happiness of being alive and making decisions on the fly about things that, I don't know, affect the lives of many, 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 many people. In their statement, they noted that Trump administration officials were in close contact with local experts and members of Congress as critical decisions were being made. Well, I guess the experts' opinion were duly noted and ignored. I guess that's basically what happened. Yes, we have taken into consideration your concerns, and we will. I'm not even sure why I'm doing this bit. We'll just whatever. Let's open the dam and see what happens. They said much of the water was used for groundwater recharge. Some water also flowed in ditches to nature areas such as Kauai Oaks Preserve. Blake pointed out that the Tulare Basin is experiencing drought conditions. Since October, the region has had nearly record low precipitation. It's possible that this summer we're really going to wish we had that water back. You're kidding. No way. You're gonna wish you had that. Oh no, Blake said. We're really going to wish we had that water that Trump ordered released back in the reservoirs. Several Democratic members of Congress criticized the Trump administration's decision and demanded answers. Well, the answer is I'm the president. I do what I want. I know what's best for the people. The water needed to the water needed to be released. It was a beautiful, beautiful water flow. And if you don't agree, screw you. I'm gonna make America great again, and you're fired. By the way, you're fired. That's the answer. This sudden, uncoordinated move raises serious concerns for downstream agricultural operations and more boring babble. Yeah. Agricultural operations and communities, since local authorities had little time to adjust or plan accordingly. Well, that sounds to me like a skill issue. I'm going to say personally that feels like the local authorities have, quite frankly, dropped the ball on this whole thing. They should have adjusted to Trump's plan immediately without fail. I don't know. It really feels like a failing on the part of the local administration, to be quite honest. I don't see Trump didn't anything wrong. Trump did not do anything wrong. Where was I? Someone said in a letter to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, an Interior Secretary, Doug Burgum, planning, adjusting. This is a long article. They said they are worried their releases did not meet their stated intent of providing Los Angeles with additional water. Well, yeah, most of it sank to the ground. Most of it was soaked into the ground. Most of it was just, for all intents and purposes, wasted. But it's okay. What's the worst that could happen apart from people not being able to grow food, right? Who needs food? Not me. Los Angeles for additional water and could reduce the availability of critical municipal and agricultural water supplies later in the year. They asked for information on why specifically, whether Trump, They asked for information on who specifically, whether Trump or someone else had given the order, if the Department of Government Efficiency was involved, and if officials had coordinated with state and local officials. State officials have said that they were not involved in the decision. I mean, come on, the obvious answer is no. There was no coordination. They just decided we're going to do it, and they just did it. That's it, without any coordination. It was stated throughout this article that no planning was done, no warning was done. Actually, there was a little bit of a mention that they were not able to release as much water as they initially planned, so they just wasted billions upon billions of gallons of water, while they could have wasted more. Okay, so whatever. The public deserves clear answers to these questions and assurances that no similar actions will be taken in the future that jeopardize the safety of downstream communities. Who cares about those? Nobody cares about those literally downstream communities. Or undermine local water planning. Water planning? What do you mean water planning? Why would you plan water? There's plenty of waters. Rivers and creeks. Water planning. That's for pussies, isn't it? Just some woke talk, if I ever heard one. Huffman and Larson said, Rep. Jim Costa, a Democrat, of course a Democrat, of course it's gonna be a goddamn Democrat scum who represents parts of Tulare and Fresno counties, said he has grave concern about what occurred. An unscheduled release of water at this time of year when there is little demand for irrigation water and a snowpack that is below average poses grave threats to a reliable water supply this year. Costa wrote in a letter to Hegseth. In addition, this could increase the cost of water for farmers for this crop year exponentially due to dry conditions anticipated. like the driest year to date or whatever, or something like that. Oh well, whatever. It's the farmers. Matt Hurley, general manager of the McMullen Area Groundwater Sustainability Agency, said he thinks the water releases were intended as a political statement. You think? You think? You think? Will it help allays fire? No, absolutely not. It has been already 100% contained, right? I'm pretty sure that the California fires have been contained at this stage of the game. So will it help the LA fires? No, absolutely not. But it will help groundwater, Hurley said. And he added that's one significant positive, as local agencies are focusing, well, we always have to look for the positives. As local agencies are focusing on recharging more water to address chronic overpumping that has caused declining water levels. From a groundwater manager's point of view, getting any water in the ground is better than nothing. What a mess.